Hi everybody, it's Wendy. I'm here to show you something that I do in the chair, and I offer this a lot to my beginner students because it helps us begin to feel more deeply into our bodies and to not be going to a level of intensity that a lot of poses do require the body. When we're new to the practice, the main part is to get an idea. And what I use the chair for is for downward facing dog. We're going to use it for plank, upward facing dog, and then finally some lunges. And so come grab a chair, and I want you to really focus on pressing into your fingers as opposed to the heel of your hand. That's very common what we do. We collapse in the heels of our hands a lot in our practice. Bring your hands on that chair and come on back here and walk back so you can get a nice length between your armpit and your wrist. You can bend your knees a little bit, bring your ears in line with your arms, maybe wiggle back side to side, dance your shoulders here. But ground into your hands. Notice what happens when I press into my heels and my hands. Look at my shoulders. And now I'm going to deliberately press into my fingers, my shoulders lift. As you come forward into a plank, think about the head of your arm bones pulling back, and you're going to press your heels away and hug your forearms as though you have, think about a tension rod between your arms. And then on your next exhale, imagine I'm pulling you by the hips and you're taking your hips back. Bend your knees if you want to. If you take your hips back and you're rounding your back like this, it's not serving you. No, pull your hips back, bend your knees. On your inhale, you're going to begin to shift forward. Keep pressing your heels away. Press into your fingers. Your shoulders come over to your wrist. Hug your forearms in. Crown of your head is reaching away from you, not your chin. Crown of your head reaching. And your next exhale, take your hips back. And move through this at your own pace. Notice if you collapse in your shoulders, lift up. You have this nice, long, straight line with your back of your head and your spine. As you move forward again, pull. Imagine the head of your arm bones pull back. You're lengthening through the crown of your head. You're hugging your forearms in, pressing through your heels. And come back. Now to come into an upward facing dog, you're going to move into your plank. And what's different is, keep pressing through your heels. You're going to let your hips come down towards this chair, as though you want to kiss the chair of your hip points. And pull the head of your arm bones back. Keep pressing into, rooting into your hands and lifting. And the exhale, take your hips back. Reach. Come back to center. And if you have a block, grab a block. If not, we need to do the whole thing over again. Grab a block and bring it between your thighs. So this is going to help you hug in from the shin level. I'm going to walk your feet back again. You can bend your knees. You're going to do the same thing. The idea is when you come forward, you're going to hug your shins, hug in, and it's going to help you. Your inner thighs are going to draw in. Push into your fingers. Lift up here. Keep pressing through your heels, hip points forward. To come back, press down with your hands. Begin to take your hips back. You bend your knees. You come back into that plank. Downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward. When your shoulders come over your wrist, you don't go any further forward. The only thing that's going to come forward is your hips are going to drop. And you're going to press to your heels, squeeze your your outer shins in, lift up the crown of your head. And take one more. Come back. Take your block out, bring it to the side. If you don't have a block, that's okay. Let's lift up your right leg and just bend it. As you come forward, I want you to press to your back heel. Press to your back heel as that right leg comes forward. You're going to bring it down. You're going to bring the top of your shin against the chair. Now, hug your outer shins in towards the imaginary middle line of your body. Hug them in. You're going to lift up a little bit. And if you want, lift up. If your right knee is forward, lift up your left arm. Reach it up and hug that outer forearm towards the center of your body without moving your arm, without moving your head. To come out, your hand comes down, the other hand comes down. You look down, step back. Downward facing dog. Let's lift up the left knee, hug it in. Begin to rock forward as if you're going to do plank, strong. Keep pressing through that right heel. Bring that left leg down. Let that left thigh melt and the right thigh lift. Hug your outer shins in towards the center point. And what that's going to do, you're going to feel a nice lift. You can keep both hands on your leg. You can bring both hands on your chair. If you have a block, you can put the block on the chair so you can come a little higher here, a little support. If you'd like, bring that right arm, up by the ear, lifting. To come out of it, bring your hand down. Let's do one more round. We're going to step back into downward facing dog. Lift up your right knee. Begin to shift forward, press into your fingers. Keep pressing your left heel away. Drop your toe heel down and make sure your shin is against the chair. Your knee is in line with your ankle. Your right thigh drops. Your back thigh goes behind you. So both thighs are going back. This back on that right leg is down towards the floor, and that other leg, that left leg, the back is on a diagonal behind you. Let's lift up that left arm, hug in your outer shins. You get that little lift, you feel more supported. And then bring the arm down and step back. Lift up your left leg, hug the knee in. Shift forward as if you're going to do plank. Keep pressing to your right heel away. Toe heel that left foot down to the floor. Make sure your knee is right in line with your ankle. Hug from the outer shins in. Lift up that right arm. If you want to, lift up that left arm. Bring both down and step back. Notice, I press into the heels of my hands, I collapse in my shoulders, press into my fingers, I get a little lift. Walk your feet in, come back to center. I hope that was helpful. I find if a lot of students do that, even before they come to me, just working through using a chair and stepping forward and getting some extension in the body and getting a little bit of this little bit of back bend with the upward facing dog, it really helps. You know where to find me. If you have a question, Wendy Brown at earthpulseyoga.com. Blessings. You know I love you.